Hey, Vlad, you're muted.
Is it Monday yet? I really blame that on the fact that I had a 10-hour flight yesterday. But yeah, well, let me restart that again. I'm actually really happy because that was not my best introduction. Uh, Okay, try number two. Welcome everybody to SharePoint TV. For the ones of you that's first time attending, remember SharePoint TV's a really casual show. The goal is to ask all of your questions and we'll get them answered live with two of our experts on Microsoft Stream. We actually have two amazing experts today. One of them is internal IT, so somebody that actually implements the product in production. So you can always share that awesome real life experience, and somebody from Microsoft. So if you have any roadmap questions, I heard everything will come out live today. That's what I've been promised. I don't know. But before we get started, let's take a look at a quick ad from our sponsor, Valo. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Let's introduce our two experts. First of all, we have John Moore from Missouri. How are you doing, John?
Good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing awesome. And then we have Christina from Seattle, from Microsoft. How are you doing, Christina?
Good. Hi, Vlad. Thanks for having me.
Hey, my pleasure. First of all, let me answer from the chat. Where did I fly to? I was actually in Zurich for Microsoft Ignite the tour, which unfortunately got canceled. So I was actually supposed to do this show from a hotel room somewhere in Zurich, but now I'm back in my full full office. So let's get back to the subject. And we already got a question probably for you, Christina, but I'll keep that for a few more minutes. Let's start first of all, John, you're a full-time IT person internal, and you're one of the most of the time we have a lot of consultants on this show, people that do a lot of clients. So it's really awesome to have somebody that works full-time in an organization and actually sees the project from A to Z. What are some of the cool things you're working on right now with Microsoft Stream?
Sure, yeah. As you said, I'm a full-time IT administrator. I'm a senior technology architect at Cerner. We're a healthcare technology company based out of Kansas City. So that's where I am today. This is my my office building within Kansas City. And we've been rolling out Office 365 going on 4 years now, I believe. Started kind of traditionally like a lot of big organizations with Outlook and then OneDrive and then Teams and Yammer and Stream kind of all at once with our modern collaboration story. So a lot of what we've been using Microsoft Stream for is sharing content, my team sharing knowledge and how to use Teams, how to use OneDrive, how to get the best bang for your buck and kind of driving the technology. And then across the organization, we use it, of course, for like storing our meeting recordings and things like that and just the day-to-day operations of a technology company.
Awesome. What kind of content? You talked a bit about meetings. Do you guys have all of the internal trainings? Do you put like now, as soon as it's video, do you guys put it on Stream? Is that kind of the rule?
Yeah. For the past at least a year, Microsoft Stream has been our in-house solution for all on-demand video at Cerner.
Okay.
So all of our meeting recordings, of course, our meetings are done in Microsoft Teams. So when we record those, they're stored in Microsoft Stream. And then any ad hoc or on-demand type of recorded videos like my tip videos or other videos out of consulting or sales, those are all stored in Microsoft Stream, and people consume those from SharePoint or Yammer or wherever they can get to it, but it lives in Microsoft Stream.
Awesome. Since we talk about consuming stuff from all over Office 365, I actually have the first question from Christina here from the chat. When can we expect anonymous embed code for Microsoft Stream videos on either external users, I guess, or on an external website?
Yeah, so we're working on two flavors. One would be the public anonymous. So if you wanted to put a video on an external website and have anybody come and watch it without authenticating. And the second thing we're working on is what we're calling guest user access, where you want somebody outside your organization to access the video, but you still want them to authenticate in some way, shape, or form. We're working to deliver both of those this calendar year, and we're working on guest user access first. So right now I'm scheduled for this calendar year. Like I said, we're working on it. I'm hoping for it a little bit early.
Okay, sorry, it cut down a bit for me, but awesome, thank you. It seems that we have a bit of audio problems here. I don't think a lot of people understand. I know, John, is it only my computer or?
No, yeah, I was hearing some chop out as well. But what Christina was saying, I think, was
live TV, by the way.
Yeah, was that they have on the roadmap right now, and the public roadmap for Microsoft is to bring this guest access or anonymous access near the end of 2020, which from my perspective did slide a little bit from what we were expecting last year. It was updated to the end of this year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And another question from the chat about Microsoft Stream before we change topics. Well, I mean, we're still going to be talking about Microsoft Stream, of course, but GCC High. We have a lot of people from, especially with the new government track at SharePoint Conference, a lot of GCC people are listening to the show. Do we have any estimate for Stream in GCC High?
Yeah, so at this point, and hopefully I'm not breaking up too badly. I might have to shut off my video if I still am. But at this point, we are targeting a date towards the end of the summer months. So we're targeting July, August. If everything that we are doing continues to go as planned, as we move into different regions and different kind of areas and licenses, sometimes compliance things come up that we haven't been expecting, and so that can push the date a little bit. But right now we're on target. John's smiling. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, somebody off screen just put an on-air thing right above my cubicle, so people are quiet. That's what I'm laughing.
Do you guys use any of do you actually have like an on-air thing? Or I've seen a lot of people use like the likes, even for teams like the busy and the free likes. Do you guys have
something
that?
like that? We don't. Let me step up. He just gave me this. It's quite on air.
Custom built, personalized, everything.
Oh, yeah, we keep it casual around here.
Let me ask both of you a question. A topic I've seen really big in the community lately is a lot of the migration from Office 365 video to Stream. And I think we now have all of the dates, right? A lot of tenants are getting automatically migrated, well, probably as we speak. And I forgot what the deadline is. I think it's next year, right?
Yes, it is next March is when we will officially retire Office 365 video. And we've migrated maybe about more than half of our customers that were on Office 365 video we've gotten over to Stream. I think there's a couple of our larger customers that have a lot of active usage that we're kind of partnering with to help them do that, because there's some nuances. But a lot of our customers have used the admin-led automated wizard, and And we had a couple bugs at first. I think we've got most of those worked out. I haven't gotten any angry messages on Twitter, so I feel like we're in pretty good shape. And we're seeing a lot of successful migrations now coming over to Stream.
Awesome. John, did you guys, because I know you mentioned you've been using it for 4 years, Office 365, so were you guys using video before?
We did. We had about 1,300 Office 365 videos in the Office 365 video solution, and we actually kicked off that migration, the admin-led migration that Christina talked about, on day one that it was generally available. So we migrated early. People didn't really embrace Office 365 video at Cerner specifically, but on the Stream side, they really embraced it. And I think that was because we launched that alongside Yammer. So Stream was a thing whenever we started with Yammer. So that helped a lot with kind of driving that technology adoption over on that side. So we didn't have a whole lot to migrate.
Okay, so really kind of everything was done automatically for you, nothing to worry about. Was there people complaining about missing features in Stream? Did you have to do user training and things like that? Or people just like, they know YouTube, so they caught on right to it?
No, not at all. It was much like that. People know YouTube, people know other solutions like that. So we let it out there, kind of the same way that we did Microsoft Teams. We were at Ignite a couple years ago talking about our adoption of Microsoft Teams, and our rollout was just that. We turned it on and we let the organization take it where it will, with some basic governance and, control at the top level, like from Active Directory and stuff like that. But we generally have people creating their own content, doing their own meeting recordings, stuff like that. We're a very, user-empowered organization.
That's awesome. And what kind of governance settings, if you want to go a bit more specific, since most admins, like to lock things down to the max and then open it just a bit, where you guys seems to have done the opposite thing. Kind of what top level governance have you implemented?
For us with Microsoft Stream specifically, we allow people to create Office 365 groups, which gives you a Microsoft Stream group as well. They can create channels. They can even create company-wide channels. A lot of our culture in our organization has been such that thought leaders within Cerner have come up from the individual contributor side, and we certainly don't want to stifle that, so people can create their own content, their own channel-wide things. One feature that we have that we've used in the past has been the GDPR type functionality, like the right to be forgotten. We have that feature turned on, obviously, in Microsoft Stream, and have that capability to, forget someone who requests that. But beyond that, it's pretty much open. Live events are currently closed down to a specific group of people. That's mostly so we can educate those people on how live events work. And then once they understand that, they get in that group where they can schedule live events.
That's awesome. Now let's talk a bit about upcoming features. I know, John, you wrote to me earlier that you're excited about a few of the enhancements coming into kind of the translation, voice enhancements, things like that. Christina, since I guess you're working on a lot of those, do you want to share a bit kind of what's coming up in Stream from, let's say, for Q2, and what are you most excited about as well?
Yeah, I can start. I think a lot of the video creation technology that we're going to be rolling out over the next month or 2-3 months is something that people have been waiting for. And so the first flavor of that is geared towards the mobile app. You can do a secure video capture, and this could be a quick communication, a quick recording of some process that you're doing or something like that, and this content never lives on your phone. It remains encrypted within this app. After it's captured, once it's shared, and you also have the ability to edit it as well on the app. So if you have a couple seconds on the first part of the video or on the end, you can trim those off. And so it's a very simple, user-friendly UI and experience. But I think I see it being huge for a lot of our first-line workers, so folks that bring their own devices to work but can't have this proprietary content living on their phone. And then the second kind of video creation stuff that we're working on is from within the Stream web browser. In the next couple months, you'll be able to create screen recordings, record applications, and then edit those and share those out. So really great. And John talked a little bit earlier about internal thought leaders and subject matter experts, or even IT sharing out training videos. So this web browser content creation feature is really geared towards helping to democratize video creation to everyone in the company.
That's
I think those
awesome.
are the two things I'm excited about right now.
For the kind of, you said recording from the mobile app, and I guess when you mean secure, you just mean that the content is kind of encrypted, only lives in Stream, but of course it's secure because it just doesn't live on the mobile device ever. It's not cached or anything.
Right.
Will
Exactly.
those be available? Kind of, I've seen even, you know how Instagram has stories, Facebook has stories, and now even LinkedIn will add stories now. I'm not sure I agree with LinkedIn having stories because of what it's supposed to be, but we're not going to talk about that. Is the goal of that to kind of be a bit like kind of Microsoft 365 stories, being able to have bits from the field, or is it just kind of for training, for things like that? What's the end goal behind it, like the business case?
Well, I think in initial testing, some of the business cases that we've seen are people recording if they're working on like a machinery or some kind of very visual process that they're doing a quick record and sharing that back. That's been a really typical one we've seen. However, at Microsoft, we build these technologies, we test them with customers, and then once we launch them, our customers have all these other use cases that we didn't even think about. And I'm sure, John can talk about Cerner a little bit. Cerner has so many cool use cases that, it just varies. And so, so this may, a CEO may decide, hey, I'm going to share a quick top of mind once a week from my mobile phone, and then just record it and push it out to Teams, or post it to SharePoint. So it's I think we're excited to see what kind of use cases our customers have and come up with.
Okay, awesome. John, do you guys already have any ideas on how you're actually going to leverage that?
Of course. Yeah, we do. So one thing is, if you're looking for the mobile video experience, that mobile recording experience, that launched last week in the test flight version of the iOS app. So if you're fortunate enough, or if you can Google, Microsoft Stream test flight, you can get access to that. We've already been doing some of those short form videos for like leader engagement, stuff like that. I really like that you can add like stickers, and you can kind of annotate on the screen with your finger and draw things. So we were doing like a what's new in Teams presentation a while back, and we had donuts outside, and we were trying to encourage people to come downstairs. So I shot a real quick phone video with, hey, we're all set up down in the room. We have donuts, by the way. So I walked over, literally circled the donuts on the screen, had arrows pointing to it, and then published that using the Stream app. So that's one use case. Another one that we just had that I'm going to do again on Friday is an organization at Cerner has this, what they call it Family First, where they gather the whole organization together. They do a real casual just update about what's going on across their org. And we found that they were recording that, or they were streaming that to another social media platform from their phone. It was just somebody on the front row holding their phone up, and rather than coming down on them real hard, we came up next to them and said, hey, how about something better called Microsoft Stream? And we showed them how to do that. So we brought a camera for them to use. We gave them a much better experience. And, on the backside of it, it's now in the right place. It's in the right platform. But they also had a better experience because some of these tools exist. And we want to embrace that rather than just, tell people what not to do with the other social media platforms.
Yeah, that's kind of basic user adoption as well, right? You gotta show them how much easier it is to do their day-to-day job with tools that you already pay for, rather than give them trouble.
Yeah, of course.
As for the desktop recording, I think that was a limitation before, even with Skype for Business Broadcast, which is the predecessor, I guess, to live events, that if you wanted to share your screen, you had to like kind of hack it so it appears as a camera for Skype for Business and everything. So now we're going to be able to just share desktop like we do in Teams, right?
Yeah, so essentially you can select to just record your desktop. You can select to have your image from your webcam down in the corner of the browser. You can select to just record an application, not have your face anywhere. So there's a couple different options that'll come with it.
Oh, that's really cool. And does it leverage the same technology in the back as Microsoft Teams in a way? Now that kind of old Microsoft 365 is a bit closer together, or?
It's a little bit it's a little bit different technology because the Teams meeting stack is geared towards these live real-time meetings, interactions, and things like that, where this is only a web-based. There's no desktop. You don't download any clients or anything like that. So it's all web-based stuff.
Okay.
So it's slightly different technology, but it is all under the Microsoft umbrella.
That's awesome. Another feature that I think, John, you mentioned is replacing video that recently got released. Can you talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, that's one feature that just came out over the past couple of weeks we saw at Cerner, and it's really great for us, the ability to replace video. It's something I haven't seen in any other solution out there like YouTube or anything like that, and that's the idea that, say that you get you do a live event. Right now, Microsoft Stream supports 720p live video, but maybe you record that video on your encoder at 1080p, so you want to have a better quality version later. What you can do in Stream is you can go to that video once it's there and published, and you can click the little ellipses for more options and click Replace Video. You can then upload a better quality version of it, and it will replace that video in the background for you without messing up any of the links or permissions that you set up. One example of this was we moved from another legacy chat and meeting capability to Microsoft Teams. Well, I shot a video about how to move your meetings from that platform into Microsoft Teams. Well, that changed. The instructions changed on me, but we already had sent the email to everybody in the company, all 30,000 people. So what I did was I re-recorded the video with the new instructions. I replaced that video, and we didn't have to send out an oopsie email with the new link. We just let it ride, and it was wonderful. So
I had no idea that was there. So I actually went on Stream here on my other computer, and I was like, hey, there's the replace video option. That's awesome.
Very cool.
I guess the less oopsie emails you send, the better it looks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Other than that, from a governance point of view, something else I've seen a lot in the community is that for administrators, there's no PowerShell command links yet. There's no Stream admin role. How do you guys manage it internally? Like, how many admins do you have on it? How do you make sure that videos are deleted after a while and things like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are definitely difficulties that we're working through. As soon as there would be, API access through the graph or even PowerShell commandlets, we would of course use those for like doing analytics and things like that. Right now, you have a Stream admin capability. It's not a role in like the admin center in Office 365, but if you go to Stream as a global admin, you can access the Stream admin settings, and then you can add other admins who only have access to that Stream admin. So we've added like our enterprise events team, the people who do like CEO town halls and large events like that. Those guys are Stream admins as well, so they can delete videos, they can delete live events and create new ones, things like that. But as far as retention, we're working through that along with everything else, meeting, chat, and email and all of that. We would like to be able to include video with that and kind of have a holistic approach.
Awesome. Christina, anything coming more on the admin side that admins should be excited about things like retention, management, things like that?
Yeah, I think in the most near term, we're actually releasing a feature that allows admins to search across all stream videos and promote themselves to take action on those videos, which the most common use case we hear from customers, and they were the only owners of this subset of videos. The admin would have to have the links to manage those. There wasn't a way to go in and okay. Let me try to unmute off my video and see if that helps.
Yeah, you broke up a bit, so I think you're gonna have to repeat all that from the start.
Sorry about that. Is this any better?
So far, yeah.
Okay, cool. So one of the features that we're releasing pretty soon is an admin mode where an admin can go and search for any video across Microsoft Stream. And the common use case we hear from customers with that is somebody leaves the company, they had 20 different videos that have been spread across Stream, but nobody has the links, and so an admin can now go in and search specifically for those videos and find them easily, and then take action, either deleting them, reassigning owners, things like that. And then I think from the admin side, we're also we are actively working on compliance things like retention, legal hold, e-discovery. And so we're targeting this calendar year to launch capabilities that support those various initiatives. I think that the one that's most top of mind for me that I run into mostly when I talk to customers, a lot of it goes back to retention, especially with Teams meeting recordings and things like that. So our engineering and dev teams are actively working on those things right now. So hopefully we'll be able to announce a date once we get a little bit farther down the process.
Awesome. Something I've learned recently, and I'm kind of ashamed to admit it because I'm an admin. Once you delete the group, I don't know why Cortana just started talking to me, sorry. But once you delete the group, it doesn't delete the videos in Stream. I don't know why. I was 100% sure that when you delete the Office 365 group, all the videos in Stream for that group were deleted. And then when I realized they're not, I was like, wow, I need to do some cleanup. You seem confused as well, John.
Yeah, I was just trying to rack my brain to think if, have I done that? I'll have to recreate that and see if it does the same for me as well. I would expect that the stream group and all of those videos would go away. I know that whenever you upload a video, so if I upload like a tip video and I add it to a channel, I will usually tag that group as an owner. There's a little checkbox there to add them as an owner. But then I would imagine like if you delete the group out from under it, there's still one owner left, and that's you, the uploader.
Yeah.
So I guess that would make sense. It just may not be quite as discoverable, but it would be tied to your account because you uploaded it.
Yep, I learned that, and I was like, did I break something in my tenant? But I checked with Mark Moz, another member from the stream team, and I was like, nope, I just had no idea it works that way.
Interesting. I'll have to recreate that.
A quick question from the chat. Will there be a way to allow all employees to record Teams meeting, but restrict who can upload individual videos directly in Stream?
We don't have any plans for that right now, but that's not to say it's not something that we'll tackle down the road, because I have heard that come up more and more with customers, especially as of late. And those, Stream is still, a pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? We have a pretty agile team, and so a lot of times we hear things from customers. Like that, and we're able to take action on those items and just build them into the roadmap. So I would say if it is something that you're interested in, and like I said, I've heard this from quite a few customers, if you go to the Microsoft Stream Tech community, we have an ideas forum. And our engineering team hangs out in the tech community, and we often reference that ideas forum during our monthly and quarterly planning calls to see what customers are asking for. So if you post that Ask in the Ideas forum, we will see it, and that does help influence our roadmap.
Awesome. Christina, do you have a link that we can maybe share in the chat just to redirect people?
Yeah, I will pop that in there right now.
Awesome. My Google skills have failed me. I tried to do it really fast. But do you guys also use user voice, or is really that ideas is the main spot where people should share things?
Yeah, I would say use the ideas forum, just because we have that kind of ingrained in our processes to check and help validate the stuff we're working on, that it's what customers are asking for. So I would say the ideas forum would be a great one.
Awesome, thank you. Now let's talk a bit about live events. And live events are 1 year old now, I think. Something close to that since they got announced, or even more. Something about 1 year, I think. And John, one of the projects you're working on, you said you want to allow everybody in the organization to be able to live stream, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. A project that I'm specifically working on as an architect is the idea of self-service live events, is what we call it. And that's taking the idea of democratizing live video and enabling anyone in the organization to go live if they have a use case to do so, whether that's, having client demo calls and things like that, they need more control, or what we see a lot of is just associates having community calls and driving their own communities within Yammer. They want to be able to go live and share updates or just, network that way. So we want to kind of wrap our arms around that and embrace it, rather than it becoming a shadow IT problem a year or a couple years from now, where we find out that everybody's been doing it on Twitch or on YouTube for 18 months already, and now we have to figure out how to deal with it. We struggled with that with Slack, with Dropbox. I kind of see videos like kind of that new frontier of like, if we don't do something about this and enable it, there's going to be a problem for us.
Do you already see people using third-party tools for that? You're funny that you mentioned Twitch, since we're on Twitch right now. Yeah. But this is a public show, so I guess it makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, when you mentioned Twitch, I was like,
we have heard about things like that, mostly Facebook and YouTube, actually, but Twitch. We've blocked it on our network, actually, so I'm looking at the comments right now on my phone, but I'm on LTE, and that honestly just kind of demonstrates that, in my opinion as a technologist, our users are going to find a way to do what they need to do. So I'm on Twitch even though I'm at my desk. It's because I'm on cellular, and we know that people are going to do video there, so we'd rather give them a better solution in Microsoft Stream, and to kind of couple with that, we're going to educate people with how to do it, but also provide these live streaming kits that we're putting together with simple, easy to use hardware, so we can say, hey, to entice you to use the right platform, here's a better camera, here's the ability to have music before your show, the capability to really raise that quality to the next level and beyond, so that people have a reason to join us on this journey rather than fight it.
And you showed me that kind of setup a bit earlier, and like I told you, you're the best kitted person I've seen you're like a professional streamer. And you even have, 2 DSLRs on 2 different angles, plus the webcam.
Oh, yeah, I do.
And yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome. And the wireless lab. So you're going to provide that for everybody, kind of whoever wants it inside the company, they can pick it up. Here's the instructions on how to set it up really quickly, and just go for it.
Exactly. Yeah, I've got some fun toys on my desk right now because we're proof of concept right now, trying to figure out what's the right hardware for a kit like this. And I think we've landed on that stack so that we can give people a good camera, wireless microphones, and an encoder or a video switcher so that they can get it into Stream or get it into Microsoft Teams if it's going to be an external live event. And yeah, it's the idea of making it accessible but also good quality is kind of sometimes opposing, and it's an exciting place right now in technology where a lot of this stuff used to be price prohibitive, but now it's accessible to normal people, and that's why we're seeing consumers doing, a Twitch streamer doing Minecraft in their house is doing like a better job than what some corporations are doing in their meetings. And we're like, well, we need to look at that, and rather than people having to fund their own, why don't we provide something better and learn from the consumer side, kind of bring that up to the business level, because we've already got like enterprise or professional production class, like for CEO town halls. Rather than kind of bringing that down to the user level, why not bring what's like you can get at Best Buy and bring that up to the corporate level, so that you don't have to have a film degree in order to host a live event.
Yeah, and it's crazy how far the consumer side finds a way to actually be able to deliver 95% of the quality at like 30% of the cost versus enterprise hardware sometimes. I just find it, especially on hardware things. I see that some people in the chat are actually saying they're looking at hardware and doing their own proof of concepts now. Do you think you can actually share what you guys are working on right now, if you can? Maybe that can be really useful for other people to do their research.
Yeah, let me put you over here on this other screen and share this screen here.
Awesome. Give
a couple of options.
Just 1 second to tell Lyman.
Lyman,
can you put up the screen on Twitch, please? This way. There we go. Lyman is working on it. And I see you're using a Mac as well with all of this.
I am, yeah. I actually, before I did Office 365, I was the Mac guy at Cerner, so I kind of brought Mac OS to the enterprise here in our organization, and then embraced Office 365.
IT loved you when you brought it with you.
It's good to be king and be the IT admin.
It's good to be
king. Like, oh, yeah, you're a Mac fanboy? So I got a Mac the first day, and I could start using it to figure out how to bring it onto the network. So. Cool. Are we
Lyman's for 1 more second?
Okay.
Awesome.
Sure. And while we're doing that, I can kind of talk a little bit about like how we started in live events and have a reason for going in. Really, it came out of practicality. I was the end user that needed to do live events, but we have limited resources to be able to have these professional production quality events. And with the rollout of OneDrive specifically, and then into Microsoft Teams, it was just a challenge to have me and my group of half a dozen people go to all of these little team meetings and do the same pitch about how OneDrive can transform your life and how to do things in Teams. And it was just kind of a challenge that we need to figure out from a resourcing perspective. So we're like, well, let's do live events so we can expand our impact. But that's why we started from the consumer side and brought it up just to like protect our own resources and not have to drive all over Kansas City and fly to Pennsylvania and other places to do the same demo over and over again, or do it via Teams meetings. So
awesome. I think that's my share now.
Yeah. Yeah, the way I'm talking to you guys today is through a mirrorless camera using this box right here, if I zoom in on it, is the A10 Mini Blackmagic design. So this is one of those little pieces of hardware you can get. It's only $300 actually for that box. It's more expensive with a $1,400 camera going into it. But we got a wireless microphone sitting on top of the camera, and then that coming into that A10 Mini, and then that just rides USB-C out into Microsoft Teams or into OBS or Encoder, so that you can it's seen as a webcam. So my mirrorless camera is just a webcam, and I can switch around. What we're likely going with for our real kit will be this, which is the Epiphan Pro Mini. It's a little bit more expensive, but it has the ability to do remote support, certificates, authentication using LDAP, so you can actually authenticate as the user. So it's a little bit more enterprise grade for us, and that's why we're leaning that direction.
And I see that this option only uses I think that's the Logitech 920 camera, the famous webcam on the internet. That's what I'm using as well.
And with that, I have the C920 on my monitor. This one actually has USB inputs on the back of it, so we're able to use a more accessible webcam. With this option, I also don't have to teach users how aperture and ISO and white balance works on a normal camera. So it's more accessible to plug it in and go, but it's way better than any laptop webcam.
Okay. Are you gonna give people the option? I saw one of them that one was called the advanced. This one would be called the more enterprise ready.
We're looking at this probably being the advanced, and then the basic one just like, hey, here's how Teams native works. You can use a webcam, you can use a conference phone because that's using the Teams experience with Skype meeting broadcast on the back end. But for better quality, you want to bring music in for a really good show, go to Microsoft Stream and use this technology called RTMP to ingest that content, and you can get you have way more flexibility by doing that. So that's kind of advanced and basic, depending on how much people want to put into it.
Okay, so a lot of people are happy for you to have shared that. I think for somebody that's excited about picture quality, even when you log into Skype Consumer here, the quality of the image was just crazy good compared to what any webcam can expect. After you spend $3,000, of course you hope so.
That's kind of that was my thing when I was planning for this. Lyman reached out to me and I was like, I better be the best looking person on there if we're going to be talking about video compared to like previous stuff. I went overkill.
I was actually even looking at Logitech has a 4K webcam as well. I think it's called the Brio or something like that.
There's really called the Brio. It's like $200 or like $160, and then they came out with a new one 2 weeks ago called the Stream Cam. Is a little bit cheaper, but also has like I think 4K 60 maybe.
Do you see the difference between 1080p and 4K for live events? Do people want to do 4K, or at the end of the day it's just a webcam and people are like, people don't want to see me in 4K? And
I think that's a little bit overkill from my perspective, because Stream is going to max out at 720p resolution, and likely your video is going to be like a little picture-in-picture window on top of the content you're sharing. So it's like, why do 4K for that? Even if it comes up to 1080p like YouTube can do and things like that, you're still likely going to be a picture-in-picture window. So I'd rather have good color than resolution.
That makes sense. I didn't know that stream was limited to 720p.
That's for live events. We found it goes in as 720p. For video playback, like if you on-demand video, it could do 1080. So I've uploaded just like test drone videos and stuff like that in 4K, and I can see them in beautiful, full HD and 1080p. But for live events, it's 720. That's why I also like this box, because I can record that locally, and then I can also upload that better quality later with the replace
video stuff. I was actually trying to do a course on managing streaming in general, and one of the things is the storage. So I was like, okay, my test tenant doesn't have any video, so I started uploading 4K videos from the DJI, from my drone, all of this stuff in Hawaii. I was like, let me put a bunch of 4K stuff on there to actually fill it up. But I didn't know it was a 720p limitation. Do you think maybe Christina can answer this one? Do you think we're gonna get a higher resolution, let's say 1080 at least for live events, or it's not something that customers really care about?
I wouldn't say it's not care about, but we have had discussions internally about it. And I think and Don touched on this a little bit. Typically, when we have people doing live events, they aren't. People are either watching on their phone or they're tuning in on their laptop. And you don't see a lot of people, projecting on a huge, wall-sized screen, which is where the difference between the 720 and the 1080 would become, more important if you're, projecting on this huge screen. But if it's a TV or monitor or something like that, it's really hard to tell the difference, especially if it's just some people talking or a panel or something like that. Maybe if it was a soccer game or something, you'd be able to see a bigger difference, but our customers aren't really broadcasting those internally. It's not a top priority for us right now, but not to say that we wouldn't do it in the future, especially as technology and things continue to move in that high definition direction.
Wait, so you're not supposed to stream football games using Microsoft Stream and put them on there, no?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can, like I said, our customers come up with use cases that I would never have dreamt of. So.
Yeah, one way that we tested Stream a year ago was Mario Maker came out for Nintendo, and we actually streamed it internally to a little private gamer group just to see if we could get to that 4-hour limit and have it cut off. So we set up in the cafeteria and had people come play Mario, and we just streamed it from our Nintendo Switch. So yeah, getting creative.
That's awesome. And yeah, I guess once you have that encoder, you can just put the HDMI in. You can actually stream anything that you want. You can stream Xbox, gaming, everything. Yeah. Christina, on your side, and I know it depends, but do you see most customers actually having a more, I'll call this an advanced setup. As soon as you have an external hardware box in between your desktop and the screen, it's more advanced. Do you see most customers going that way, or just directly from the browser, whatever works, and kind of they're fine with that?
I think it's kind of a mixed bag. So today in Stream, you have to use an encoder to set up a live event. And so a lot of our customers that are using Stream for live events will have not always a really high-end camera or some fancy setup, but they will at least be using an encoder where they're connecting to some external cameras. Whereas in Teams, you have the ability to just easily broadcast your screen or use your camera that's part of your laptop and, still reach thousands of people. And that is, I kind of think of those as those more traditional webinars, something you might do for your customers or partners or even just internal trainings as well. So, I think that we see usage for different scenarios across the board, and it really just boils down to who the audience is. If you need to reach outside your company with a live event, most people are leveraging Teams for that. If you have an internal training or even I would say something like your CEO or some leader is going to be on a stage and you're going to have a bunch of cameras set up. Then more people look to Stream for things like that because you do have the ability to easily connect that encoder. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, and it just depends on the scenario and who you're trying to reach, I think, is kind of what it boils down to.
Do you think those scenarios we kind of just merge in terms of capability, or is that the long-term vision of, do you want something simple, no encoder, Teams live events, and if you want to do the CEO presentation, you go with the Stream and the encoder? Is that the long-term? Well, it's never a long-term vision nowadays with the cloud, but is that the vision so far of keeping those two use cases separated?
No, I think our long-term scenario is we want Yammer, Stream, and Teams to all have the same streaming capabilities. We want all of them to be able to connect to an encoder. We want all of them to be able to be used without an encoder. We're just sharing your screen. So that's really the long-term is compartmentalizing the same capabilities in all the apps. And the reason that we're looking to do it for that those use cases is we have people that have adopted Teams, but they may not plan on adopting Stream or Yammer, and vice versa. A lot of companies use Yammer, but they're not quite ready to switch to Teams. And then you also have, once you're in the apps, you have different experiences. So in Teams, you have this moderated Q&A where you can publish questions anonymously. The presenter can choose to not publish questions at all and respond privately. So it's more curated in that sense. Whereas in something like Yammer, you have these really rich, robust communities. And so if you're going to stream a live event to a community, that event will continue to live on in that community and continue to get engagement and things like that. So it's just, and with Stream, you could take a Stream live event and embed it on your front page of your intranet. And so each app has different nuances in some of the functionality and purpose of the app, which I think is that's not going to change.
Awesome. Yeah. So the tech kind of, you can choose. You're going to kind of separate the technical stuff of, you'll go live and then you decide where you want to go live depending on what the goal of the video is. But you're not going to be stuck of, oh, I don't have an encoder, so I have to do it on Teams, even if Yammer would be better for what I need, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's really, really cool. I see we have about 5 minutes left, so I want to make sure we finish on time. There's something coming up this May called the SharePoint Conference, and I think you're both speaking on Microsoft Stream, right? John, do you want to share a bit more about what your session is going to be?
Sure, yeah. I'm very excited to be speaking at SharePoint Conference this year. This will be my second SharePoint Conference. I spoke last year doing a customer story about our rollout of Yammer. This year I'll be talking about Microsoft Stream and using that for driving technology adoption. So kind of telling my story of, that going from meeting to meeting and how do I recreate this so that it can be a video, and how we share Teams tips, how I record my screen and my video, how I edit, give you just some basic things and some tools that you can take away and actually start making your own videos as a technologist to kind of help your adoption of Office 365.
That's awesome. How about you, Christina?
So we will have a few different sessions that me and some of the engineering folks are going to be presenting about new things that will roll out between now and the SharePoint conference. Hopefully have some more updates on things like compliance and analytics and things that we are targeting for this calendar year. And then we're also going to host a session around content organization in Stream, specifically looking at things like, as an admin, what kind of controls and levers do you have? And also as an admin, what kind of a guidance can you give to your stakeholders in the business, your head of marketing, your head of HR, for how they organize their content without, it being a company-wide channel Wild West situation. So I think that we'll have a good offering of sessions for Stream at the conference this year, and I would just say to anyone listening, if you're at the SharePoint conference and you're interested in Stream, go to John's session, because as you can tell, he is just a wealth of best practices, and he's very Cerner. He's making video a first-class citizen at Cerner, really. And so I think anybody interested in video culture in the workspace should attend his session. Highly recommend it.
Thank you. You're too kind.
It's always awesome when you get to hear from people that actually implement it in the real life, and that's what I love about the balance of having somebody from Microsoft on those calls and somebody from real life IT, from that, like, kind of what we're coming up with, and then how we're actually using what we have today and in production, and what actually people like and don't like out of everything. So always try to attend as many sessions as you can from people implementing it live. Not anything against Microsoft, Christina, don't take me wrong, but it's always awesome to see those real life experiences and what works, what doesn't. And kind of like you said, Microsoft will always put a bunch of features out there, and there's so many ways to use them that it's great to see what other companies are doing with the technology in the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also, I know this year, are you guys going to have a Microsoft booth where people can just drop by, ask you guys questions, and ask me anything, basically?
I am not sure how the setup is going for that, but we will, of course, have a lot of our team members there from Microsoft, and are not too hard to track down either in sessions or on Twitter or anything like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys both very much for the time this week. 2 minutes left, so I'm really going to try to finish on time for once. I always forget and we go past, so I'm going to try to finish on time. So thank you guys very much for taking the time and sharing your knowledge with the community.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having us.
Before we go off, first of all, for everybody on the call, if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to click the follow button on the top right of your screen. This way you get notified next time we go live. And before we announce the guests for next week, let's take a look at a quick video from our producing sponsor, SharePoint Conference.
So hey everyone, I'm Tracy van der Schijf. I know that's always difficult for everyone. I'm a crazy pants wearing, motorbike riding, Czech all the way from South Africa, and I love Microsoft technologies. I think for anyone that's been on the circuit a bit, that's involved with conferences, knows that there's something deeper for us than just the technology. And for me, SharePoint Conference definitely is people. A community and conferences like these definitely turns lonesome into awesome, by the way. So this is the best place to come to if you have questions, if you think you're not sure that you're doing the right thing or what is the next steps that you have to make. Everyone should be becoming business decision makers, people that work with training and with change management, IT pros for sure, and that citizen developers, definitely the power users. It's so important for them to come to these conferences. There's a Japanese word that says yugen, and yugen is when something is just so amazing that you can't express it in words. And that's how I feel after spending a couple of days here. There's just this heartbeat that happens at SharePoint Conference. I mean, and the people and everyone helping and people learning and people being happy and being inspired. So if you don't want to be inspired, not the place. If you want to be inspired, if you want to grow your community, if you want to love what you do and learn the skills to do it, this is the place you should be.
Okay, we're back, so let's talk about next week. On our next show, we're actually going to talk about Microsoft Teams, and we're going to have two awesome guests. We're going to have Matt Wade and Jamie Laporte. So please join us on March 11th, same time, so 10 a.m. Pacific or 1 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget to follow the channel. This way you always get notified when you go live. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a great rest of the week.